last time on Sword Coast Adventures, the party did battle with a bunch of zombies after an explosion at the ATC Expo. Zombie Bill killed Tika, but Geo was able to flee the scene. After the battle, there was a standoff with the party and the ATC. Xenophia teleported away after blaming the Red Wizards of Thay for the attack. Rokus thinks it was staged by the ATC. Harvick and ICU are able to cure Bill of the zombie-like disease. And that's where we left off. Bill hadn't talked yet or anything.
Okay, what time is it?
It's like late morning.
Boy, a lot to happen in one morning.
Those battles take a long time in real time, but they don't
Yeah,
take long in the game.
Obviously. So it's day 74, is that right?
No. It's the first day of spring, 1492.
Okay, so I just put first day of spring?
You can write spring 1.
Okay. That will work then.
Okay, so you guys cured Bill. He sputters back to life normally. I guess actually that's not a good description because he was alive, which is what tipped you guys off that he wasn't actually an undead. But he comes back to his normal self, although he's very scarred.
Right now, maybe my notes are wrong, but my notes have a thing that the chunk of metal hit him and was embedded in his back or something. Is that still in his back?
You got that there was some shrapnel. It was not examined yet.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. You roll him. I guess he would have been. I guess let's say he was laying on his back. So you guys didn't really see what's going on yet. You cured him with magic, so you roll him. You ask him to roll over. He's still waking up. And you see his back is healed, and you don't see any shrapnel or anything in his back, and it doesn't seem to be laying on the ground either. But I see you think that there should be something there, but it's not there.
Should do a medical investigation.
You guys can do a investigation or perception check of the area to look for the shrapnel.
Ooh, I rolled an 18. And let's see what my perception is.
I've got a 14 investigation.
19
do I roll both or one?
Just one per person.
Okay.
I got 18.
Okay. Rokus, you find some pieces of metal around. Harvick, what was your investigation?
14.
14. You can see his clothes on his back are ripped open, like something hit him there, and even though he's healed up now, there's a lot of scarring on his back. So it does look like it got hit by something, but you don't see anything left there, which you think is a little strange. I see. What was yours?
19.
I didn't get that.
Rolled a 19.
Rolled a 19. Okay,
All
yeah,
right.
you also find a couple pieces of metal around. But not like specifically where Bill was.
Okay, then he probably wasn't hit by shrapnel. He was hit by something else that turned him into a zombie, I'm thinking.
Yeah, like a magic zombie missile.
So I should probably check out the wound.
Yeah.
Bill, can I look at your wound in your back? I don't think you were hit by shrapnel. I think you were hit by something else that
Okay.
was more
Go
dangerous.
ahead and roll a medicine check.
Plus 7 is 21.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. So he doesn't have a wound anymore. He just has a scar left over after you guys healed him. But looking at it and looking at the knowing how your magic works and stuff, you can feel that yeah, something had like pierced into his back, but it is now not there
It's
anymore. And you think that if you had healed him when he had metal stuck in his back or something, that it would have like pushed the metal out and it would have fallen on the ground.
Gotcha. I would like to ask Bill if he remembers anything about what just happened.
He says, not really. So he kind of like mumbles and talks. Like he doesn't say anything too super useful at first, but as he's thinking more and talking more, he says, "Well, I think like before I I heard I heard a sound like an explosion, and my first reaction was just to turn towards the kids, and then I I kind of I remember reaching out to Tika, but
Yeah,
where is she?
Unfortunately, you were a zombie at the time, and she's over here. You killed her.
I,
Didn't really need to tell him that.
Why not?
are
Now he's going to feel
find
even
out.
more miserable. No, he's not going to find out he's the one that did it.
Well,
Now he's just
sorry
going to feel
about that.
totally miserable. I
well.
figured out.
You're the one that
you
does-
can see
You have
he's
so much empathy.
You're the one who's supposed to be all telling the truth.
well. You can see Bill is feeling pretty bad, pretty miserable, as
Yeah.
Harvick has
Yeah.
suggested. I also would like to check in with your characters. How are your characters feeling at this time? What do you think? How about Rokus? What's his emotional state?
I feel bad for him, but you know, it's what happened. It happened, and there's no point in dragging it out. I'm not pissed off at him. I'm pissed off at the people that set off the bomb.
Yeah. Is Rokus pissed off?
Yeah, I'm mad at the. I think it's ATC. I'm just not convinced that this was anything more than a show.
Okay. How about Icy? How is Icy feeling? What's she thinking?
I'm kind of feeling sad that Tika was killed, and I'm feeling kind of weak after almost dying. I'm feeling like I need to take a rest.
Okay. So feeling vulnerable.
Yeah.
All right. And how's Harbeck feeling?
Has Harbeck found out what Rokus knows yet?
No. You guys haven't really had a conversation. All
That's what I
Harbeck
thought.
knows really is that he did hear Rokus say something about the ATC setting things up. He said that to Xanathia, so you're not exactly clear on what he's talking about. And you saw Xanathia was kind of hostile to you guys, but she didn't attack you guys directly. And the soldiers tried to shove you guys around, but weren't really successful. So, yeah, that's about all Harvick knows.
How about if I fill them in real quick about what happened? I'll pull them off to the side so I'm not telling everybody.
Okay. Anybody?
We can
There's a few
kind
people
of.
around. Anybody else you want to include?
Include
Neverember's
me as
there.
well.
Is Neverember there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, I'd like him to be there.
Okay.
And I don't know what you know either, because I was in the middle of the fray.
Oh yeah. No, you and even Bill, if you want, and say, look, I'm really sorry what happened, but
Okay,
that's what happened.
you guys, you kind
And I
of
tell him I don't.
indicate. Well, hold on. You kind of indicate you want to tell something secret, right? So,
Yeah.
Neverember says, "Okay, I'll have my men surround the area. They'll keep the public out of this area. We can talk for a moment." So
Cool.
the troops kind of go out, and the Neverwinter Guard is like cordoning off the area. It seems that some on the other side of the explosion, the ATC have managed to get away with some of the corpses, but you guys have secured these. You have six zombie corpses there that you guys have control of, and yeah, so you guys are at least like 60 feet away from any of the public.
Okay.
So you can talk quietly and nobody will hear you.
Okay. So I just fill them in on what I saw with Xanathia. Just being practically expecting, no surprise or alarm that she just strolled out to like it was a prearranged event that was going on, and the fact that she wanted to do Bill in at the end to me was like the icing on the cake. If she had really been involved to want to know what was going on and involve us, it'd be different. But she was trying to cover it up. She was trying to get rid of the evidence. And taking the bodies away was like even a third piece of the puzzle. So there's no question in my mind that they're involved.
Okay, as you're talking,
Why?
one of the soldiers of the Neverwinter Guard approaches and says, "Lord Neverember, there's someone from the Emerald Enclave that wishes to speak with you." And he says, "Okay, yes, that will be fine. Bring them over." And so the guard brings over two people. It's Aaron and a elf woman that you guys haven't seen before. And they're walking over towards you guys. And then when they get there, says, "Lord Neverember." And Aaron says, "I'm not sure if you've met, but this is Faxina Trismora, one of the leaders of the Emerald Enclave." And she does a little like curtsy kind of bow, but she's not very good at it. She looks like she doesn't know how to do it properly. And she says, "Greetings." And she sees you guys have your Emerald Enclave badges on, and she does a like kind of a salute to you too.
I'd bow to her. What kind of elf is she?
She appears to be a moon elf. She's got pretty fair skin and white hair. It's cut kind of like a pixie cut, pretty short. Um, she has gray eyes, and yeah, she's about the same height as Rokus.
Xena, good to meet you.
Good to meet you. But we got a pretty serious situation here. And I have some information to share with you guys. I was fighting on the other side over there. The ATC moved pretty quickly to grab up the bodies. I'm glad you guys were able to keep these here, because I think something weird's going on.
We had the same feeling.
Yes?
Or I should say I had the same feeling. I've been explaining what I know to the rest of the people. Can I fill her in too?
Yeah, so you fill her in, and she says, yeah, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna need to, we're gonna need to have a meeting. And I have a urgent, mission I need to send you guys on, I think.
Okay.
To Demetrius' house with Bill and the young boy, and because we've got our meeting room there.
Okay.
Somewhere private. Is that a good idea, or do you want to just meet right here?
I think we should probably meet in private. And I'm sorry what happened to your friends, but I don't think we should include them. Bill and the children.
Okay, now
Or
there's
child.
only one child left. I don't think he's going to be comfortable with around Bill right away. He needs to understand that it wasn't Bill, that it was whoever set off the bomb that killed Tika. But we need to get him to the longbow or somebody in the Scar that can take care of him. Maybe Droop and Coop could look after him temporarily till we can figure out what to do.
Okay, Neverwinter says I can have my my men escort him and help them out with that.
Okay.
Keep him safe.
And how about the funerals for all these people? That we can have like one get together for that, or how's that? I think we should handle that.
I don't know. Yeah, as you know, we have to burn the bodies. But yeah. We can make sure that they have a proper send off, but
is there anyone that's an expert on necromancy that can check them out? See if there's, because we know there's something else going on weird. Is there someone else that in the town that knows enough about necromancy that could inspect the bodies and try to give us more information about what's going on?
I can request that the wizards I can have some of the bodies delivered to the I can have some delivered to the Cloaktower where the mages are meeting and doing research, and some of the others sent to the morgue to be checked there.
Okay. And can you get some of your guards to check all around the explosion here and look for anything that might be weird?
Yes, we will do that.
Yeah, if they could get all the pieces of metal they find, even little pieces, have them collect it all into one group of material.
Yes, it seems that you found some.
Yeah, you can show them, tell them that this is what we're looking for, and even small pieces of it. We need all of it we can find.
All right. Okay. Um, let's go back to So sorry. Let's see. What's his name? Lewis, I think. Oh, Lucas. Yeah. Okay. So the representative for Lord Neverember in Blizzard is Lucas Adamos. So he's there also. Helping to lead the soldiers in gathering up the debris and dealing with the crowd. And soon, Neverember says he's gonna leave, gonna go back to his place and to discuss things. But he wants Lucas to lead a meeting for Blizzard to discuss what's going on back at the Dimitru residence, which is now Blizzard headquarters. So yeah, they're taking care of the scene of the crime there. Anything else you guys want to do personally before you go to do a meeting?
Have we ever done a history check on the Red Wizard? What we know about him?
It's a group, but I don't.
They're necromancers.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
I don't think I have any extra information to give you guys.
Okay.
It's a eastern nation. It's bordering with Aglarond, the country.
So it's an actual nation then?
Yeah, Fae is a nation.
Okay, Fae is where the Red Wizards hang out. It's their
Yeah,
town.
they're from. That's the country where they're from.
And now, as the ATC now, I know Zaffron has supposedly been fighting them. Has ATC ever had any dealings with them? One way or the other?
ATC.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did research about Seraphim before, and
Right.
one of the things was like a long time ago, the Red Wizards were trying to attack Aglarond, and the ATC was a part of keeping them out of Aglarond from invading. And then much later, Seraphim led or was part of an invasion force to attack Fae, and they were able to actually destroy the Red Wizard's castle and take them out of commission pretty much. And they had a unrelated king since then. So the stuff about the Red Wizards coming out now is something that you've heard a couple times, but previously you had thought that they had been reported to basically have been defeated. And also, yeah, the Church of Tyr also helped out with that invasion of Fae.
Now, Heidi's been sent out to check that out, but she has not come back, correct?
Yeah, it's very distant. And as far as you know, she's traveling by land and sea.
Now, we heard one of the guards say something about shooting the zombies the same way they did. So that must have been fairly recent.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me check my thing here.
That's something that Harbeck and Icewe heard them say too.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So we'll mention that to everybody.
If they were fighting all over the place, then they should have seen lots of that.
So
Well,
the
but
the
these guys,
the original invasion into Thay was in 1450. So about 43 years ago.
but he was talking about something recently because they were using these new weapons. These weapons are a new development.
Yeah, you're not aware of any big battles recently.
Whereas these guys have been fighting them recently. That much we know.
Are there still any ATC guards around?
Not in this area. You could go look for some.
Yeah. I'd like to talk to one about the armament we just saw him using.
Okay. Basically, your little meeting breaks up, and they say, you know, in an hour or so.
Before that, what time should we meet for that? We need a meeting. We need a time. When do we
Yeah,
need to be there?
that's what I was saying. In about an hour or so, maybe we should
Meet at
meet up at
headquarters?
the headquarters here.
Okay.
And
You want to know?
Vaccina says, yeah, in an hour. Like I have some urgent stuff we need to go over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you find Pookie?
Poopy's gone. I have to wait and let me see if I don't think I have I used a couple spells. Let me check my spells. I don't think I have enough to look for him.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Let me check. Where are my spells? I don't even remember.
Well, we're gonna do a long rest before we take off. So
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to have to rest anyway because I don't see that I have him prepared at this point.
okay.
So we'll have to have a rest so I can prepare that particular spell.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we might have swapped that out because you don't have to have it active to keep Pookie out.
Right. So next time we rest, I'll go after we get it finished resting. I'll go look for him.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys are planning to meet after an hour, and Harvick wants to go ask some ATC.
About their weapon.
So you approach a group. They're like the soldiers have kind of consolidated together. They're guarding the area where the main stage was. They have a few of their. It seems like they've brought a couple of their like valuable things over there to protect them, and yeah, they're just standing guard basically outside the tents. So
Okay, is there one that's sort of all by himself?
no, they're pretty well spaced all together. They're pretty organized.
Okay. Let me go to one that's farthest from the tent, and I say that I was looking at the way they were handling the zombies. I've never seen a weapon like that. Can you tell me anything about it?
He doesn't seem like he wants to say much. But he looks at you and you see that he seems to notice that you are probably a lord or something. So he kind of begrudgingly says, "This is just some of the new magitech of the ATC, my lord. It's confidential information. I can't really discuss it."
Can I use my persuasion and fistful of gold to ask him if he wouldn't be willing to give me more information?
Okay, you're gonna. How are you gonna present this gold?
I'm going to I'm going to tell him that I'm uh, very impressed with the way that they did it, and I have a bag of gold that I think should be presented to them. He can either divvy it among themselves, or if he wants to keep it for himself, we could go somewhere that's a little more private. I could be asking for his assistance so he, could move away.
All right. Uh, okay. Roll a persuasion check.
All right.
22. 16 plus 6.
All right. So he looks pretty nervous, but he seems to want the gold. So he goes off. He says, "All right, I can take a break real quick. Let's meet over there." And you see him go over to another guy who might be an officer, and then he comes over in your direction, and you guys kind of go behind some of the tents, and he says, "All right, what do you want to know?"
I want to know everything that you know about these weapons and when you got them.
They've been developing stuff like this for a while. I think they had some magic missile type weapons that they were trying to do, but they weren't working out because of the something about the aiming. So yeah, I don't know anything about magic really. But these can be used by pretty much anybody. You just hold it up and this so he shows you, he holds it up, and then you see this kind of like a magic holographic sight kind of just appears above it, and like as he says, like as you aim it around the this circle thing, it'll like let you know how far away the thing you're pointing it at is, and when whatever you're pointing at is in range, it'll turn green, and that's when you can shoot. And the beam comes out in pretty much in a straight line, can go about 60 feet, and
And
you can toggle it between fire and ice damage.
okay, so it's fire and ice damage.
Yeah, either one.
Okay,
Um,
what were you using against the zombies? Fire.
yeah. They
Okay,
said we've been told that fire works well against zombies.
gotcha. So you knew ahead of time. Somebody told you ahead of time. Was it just zombies, or they tell you all kinds of monsters?
Well, no, they didn't tell us. Like, we didn't know anything ahead of time. It was just, we have fought necromancers in Thay and other places before, so that's what they say.
Okay, and you yourself have fought necromancers in Fae. You're a veteran from that.
Not really, actually. This is my first time. I didn't fire my weapon today, but
How come you didn't?
I was in another part of the expo when it happened.
And you were not ordered to go anywhere. You were ordered to stay where you were, or were you ordered to do something else?
I didn't get any direct orders until the battle was over. I was just trying to um protect the area I was in. I was near one of our presentation tents.
Uh,
But I should probably get back.
Okay. How much? All right. Here's 10 gold. As I promised you some gold for information. How much would you be willing to, if you could do it, sell one of those, sneak out one of those weapons and sell it to me?
I don't think I can do that. That's too much for me.
Do you know where they are being kept or being manufactured, or where we might be able to purchase one?
Um, they're only issued to ATC soldiers. But anyway, I really gotta go. All right,
Okay.
and he like runs off with 10 gold.
Good work, Arbeck.
All right, so finding the guys and looking around, it only took about 10 minutes. Ten or 15 minutes, I guess. So you still have a little bit of more time.
I'd like to go back.
Want to do?
Yeah, I'd like to go back to where look to see if I can tell where the bomb actually went off.
Okay, there's kind of a big scorch mark.
Okay.
So yeah, you can see where it went off.
I'd like to examine that particular area carefully. Can I use the same roll that I had before?
Or do I need to roll a new one? Are you want to do investigation, trying to figure something out, or perception, just observing what you see?
Perception, I guess.
Okay.
Nat 20 plus. Perception is high too. Plus 6, 26.
Okay. So you're able to like easily track out the pattern of where it exploded from. You don't see anything jumping out of you as strange. It looks like what you'd expect from a kind of a metal, maybe spherical shape exploding.
Okay.
The grass is like scorched, so you can see that there was some kind of fire involved.
What was anything embedded in the ground right there?
Embedded in the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look around, you see the soldiers are picking out pieces of metal as you guys had asked them to do.
Okay.
And you can find another piece.
Okay. Is there any residue?
No. You don't see any like leftover grime or anything.
Now, how big is the biggest piece anybody's found?
Probably the biggest piece is like the size of your hand.
Okay. And by looking at it, can you see that it is part of a sphere? Does it look like a fragment of a sphere?
It doesn't look like it was actually a perfect sphere. It might have been
a cylinder.
You guys
maybe?
gotta get a couple pieces together as you're like handing the metal to them, and it seems like maybe it was kind of
cylindrical.
No, like a almost like maybe like a D20 shape. Like it has like maybe it was like an octagonal top and bottom with like flat sides, kind of.
Was faceted, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
It
Okay,
seems like there's some markings on it, but it's hard to see what it is.
okay. Um, how many guards are involved with it?
Um,
There's a lot of
okay, I'm gonna.
guards around. You see at least like 20 guards around.
Okay, I'm gonna offer like a bounty on the who can find the most pieces of
Mm-hmm.
it. Inspire them to be super thorough.
Okay.
Let them know that we're trying to reassemble the pieces to get an
Okay.
idea of what it was.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Harvick, you want to say something?
For every piece.
Yeah. Is there a? I was gonna say, is there an officer who's in charge of having the things assembled?
Oh yeah,
Or
there's
finding
one
them?
of the senior uh s- guards basically who's in charge right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the senior guard and tell him after they've gotten as many of the pieces together as they possibly can. Bring all those pieces over to the headquarters, and then I'm gonna. I'll wait till I can get to the headquarters. But when I get to the headquarters, I'm gonna tell. What's the name? Is it Lucas? This the head guard.
Lucas is the
That's also
captain
the
of Neverember's household guard.
yeah. Okay, so who's the member of the regular guard? Head of the regular guard.
Captain of the Neverwinter city guard is Joseph
Odo.
Barta. Captain Joseph
Oh,
Barta, who
Oh,
you've
okay.
dealt with before.
right, what's his name?
Captain
Joseph.
Joseph Barta.
With an A?
Yeah.
Okay.
Arta.
All right. I have him down for some reason.
I type it in the Discord there.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna tell him to once they get all those, take the pieces over there and tell Joseph what he's done, and then ask Joseph to trying to think who'd be the best person. Ask some of the wizards who'd be the best one to be able to possibly read the inscriptions after we put the thing together.
Yeah, we might need to get a team together to put all the pieces back together.
Right, exactly. That's what I want Joseph. That's what I'm telling. I don't want Joseph to do.
It might take a while.
I agree, but yes, we can do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he says, yeah, I'm sure we can get someone who to identify what the markings are.
Okay. So you're gonna try. So basically, you're gonna take it over to the headquarters. You're gonna try to put the pieces together as best you can, and you're gonna try to find somebody who can read the writing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay,
You
we
guys
better
had
go.
mentioned a reward or something you wanted to offer. So, how much would that be?
But just how much do they get a day in pay?
I don't have that figured out.
Just
But a silver or less.
okay. What do you think about doubling their pay per day?
Two silvers.
While they're if they can produce
We offer them 1 silver for every pound of shrapnel they bring to us.
Well, let's just to simplify it. Let's say there's 20 soldiers, and so just give them 20 silver, and that'll
Okay.
be good.
but we want to make it so that the more pieces they find, the more they get.
Well, we could do that, but maybe
How about
whoever
20 silver
does
for
the
all
best
of
job gets, like, 10 of the 20 or something.
Yeah, yeah. 2 silver for everybody, and then a gold piece for whoever finds the
has
most pieces.
yeah? There you go.
All right, then that'd be 40 silver, and how much gold you wanted to give the best one?
Just an extra 1
One,
gold.
one.
Okay, then you guys can subtract that from
I
your
will
thing.
do
You
that.
can offer that out to the captain there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'll take that out of our general fund.
all right. So
Yeah.
all the soldiers are there. They see you do it, and hear your offer, and they're like,
And we're also thanking them and making sure they feel important.
cool. So they all seem pretty excited to look for the pieces of metal now. They're all looking carefully.
Doubly
You
careful.
see a
Yeah.
guy pick up like a little tiny, like, centimeter piece. He's like, "Does
That's
this
fine.
count?"
Yep. I don't care how small it is. We need every fragment possible.
All right. Okay, so they're all doing that. It's getting to the time you guys need to go to the headquarters.
Yep. Let's
Okay.
hurry over.
Okay. So you get over there, and let's see. It seems that Lucas had got there first, and he had all right. So yeah, Patty, the maid, who was taking care of the headquarters, uh, Lucas got there first, and then she rounded everybody else up. So everybody's there. That would be Harold, Aaron, Faxina's there as well. Lorgan has come back, and Callista, one of the Neverwinter guard, house guard people, is there. Okay, so everybody's there. And
Okay. Now, so there's no. Everybody's there is the actual. There's no. Everybody's there, and there's no substitutes. So it's
okay,
all the actual members.
the two people who are not there is the Lord Justicar and Neverember himself.
Okay. Well, Neverember is he's delegated that to Barta.
No,
It has the Lord Justicator.
Barta's.
Lucas, sorry, yeah, Lucas.
Yeah, the other one.
Lucas is representing Neverember. Is anyone
You're the one who represents the Lord Justicar.
Okay, okay. So the proper representatives are there for everything.
Yeah, and Faxina is there. She's one of the leaders, so she's not normally gonna be in the meetings, but she's here this time. So she's kind of the most senior of the group here. The highest. She's the highest ranking in Blizzard who's at the meeting. But Harvick, you have the authority of the Church of Tyr, so you can make decisions.
Okay.
For them.
And what's Harold's reason for being there?
He's just there to serve you, basically.
Okay.
Since he was familiar.
Okay. So if we go out on a quest, then I can delegate Harold to represent the
yeah, that's right. He can do things
Hall
on
of
your
Justice.
behalf.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So Faxina is calling everybody to the table for the meeting in the basement. Okay. So she says, all right, so I've been investigating the ATC for a while now, and I've heard that you guys have had some run-ins with them, but it doesn't sound like you've had too much like strong evidence against them. But I want to just tell you what I know, so that you can be sure that they're our enemy.
This is Faxina talking?
Yeah, that's right. So she says, the ATC has been acquiring land for years now. And what they've been doing is building these power plants. I've been able to recently infiltrate one of them and get a look inside at what's going on. I have some contacts within the ATC and at Waterdeep. And so within the ATC power plants, they're generating this material that they call mana. They have these things they call mana reactors, which draw magical life energy from living things and from the planet itself, and it transforms it into this fluid that they're calling mana. The mana can be used
How do you
to
spell mana?
M-A-N-A.
Is it M-A-N-N? Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you some notes. I'll type some notes in Discord later to help you guys out.
Thank you.
The mana can be used to infuse objects with magic powers, or treated. If they treat the mana liquid, they can turn it into a solid form, which is a mana gem. And soon I'm in the midst of making plans to sabotage one of the power plants in Waterdeep to try to cripple their development there.
Okay.
But here this is the urgent part that I wanted to tell you everyone about. This might be particularly interesting to Icewe. I read from your file that you're from Thunderfield, and we have reports of zombies near Thunderfield, and I think it's related to these creatures we saw today.
What makes you think they're related?
So, I'll just read you what I have here. Faxina got a report that a group of hunters were attacked by zombies southeast of Thunderfield on Winter 72, 1492. 2 rookie Emerald Enclave Rangers were sent in to investigate, but didn't return. Thunderfield sent out a request for help to the city of Baldur's Gate on Winter 85. It seems that
Winter 85.
That's just the date.
Oh.
I'll just think that all this is okay. It seems the ATC picked up on that request. A contact of Faxina's within the ATC reported that a group of security forces were going to be sent out of Waterdeep towards Thunderfield on Spring 1st, which is today. In addition, the contact reports that earlier in the morning, the ATC Expo in Waterdeep suffered a similar attack by strange zombies. If they are using an auto carriage transport, they should be able to reach Thunderfield in a little over 8 days. Faxina gives the party a teleportation sigil to an Emerald Enclave outpost in the Cloakwood, the south of Baldur's Gate, about 7 days away from Thunderfield. So she says basically, if they're using these new vehicles they have been showing us, they probably can travel twice as far in a day since they don't need to rest. So they'd go about twice as fast as a horse. And luckily, Waterdeep is a little more than twice as far than our teleportation circle. So if we get you out of here today, as soon as possible, and you travel by horse or, yeah, mounted, I believe you guys have mounts. Is that right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
If you go as if you go as fast as possible, you'll be able to get down there a little more than a day ahead of them. And Harvick, you asked why do we think these are related? Um, so I was taking place in that battle. I saw those zombies. They had weird bone. They're like bones came out of their fingers, turned into claws and things. And they had green liquid, which by the way looks a lot like mana to me.
Ah.
Coming out of their body. That's what we got from the reports from these zombies at Thunderfield.
Okay.
Also, my contact in the ATC who sent me the information about their movements, he also reported that the zombies he saw this morning in Waterdeep also displayed those strange attributes.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure these are related. If we can get there ahead of them, I'm guessing they're just like you described. Faxino was trying to off the survivor. They're probably going down there to clean up this whole thing. And if they happen to be normal zombies and we're wrong, we definitely don't want them wandering into Thunderfield anyway.
Okay, so now,
What-
where are the zombies coming from? An explosion like the one that was here?
No, they were. The report is that there were some hunters in a forest nearby, and they just like randomly ran into these zombies. They killed some of the hunters, and at least one of them was able to make it back to town to call for help. And
Now-
the Emerald Enclave has some agents nearby who were able to go investigate, but they didn't return. Then it seems that the townspeople sort of panicked and sent out a request for help from Baldur's Gate, and it seems like that must have been when the ATC picked up on it.
Okay, now,
Which direction out of Baldur's Gate did this stuff take place?
Thunderfield is southeast, and the forest where the zombies were southeast of that.
Okay.
So she takes out a map she has of the area. This shows you all the way from Torrelay at the
I can blow it up.
very top left, and Thunderfield all the way down at the bottom right. This is basically the most of the Sword Coast.
Okay, so we're going from okay.
And I'll show you a smaller version. Okay, here's another like cropped version of the South. The mission she's describing is you guys would teleport to the Cloakwood, which is a little south of Baldur's Gate.
I see it.
And then you'd travel to Thunderfield, which is sort of between the Snakewood and the Troll Mountains. In the bottom right side, southeast.
Oh, yes, I see it. We're being, all right, they're going to teleport us, is it to Baldur's Gate?
To the actual, the Emerald Enclave has a outpost in the Cloakwood. That's not in Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
Where is this? Where's Baldur's Gate in relation to Waterdeep?
It's so it's also on. They're both on the coast. Neverwinter is also on the coast.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
all pretty equal distance from each other.
I found it. It's
Yeah.
pretty far down.
Neverwinter to Waterdeep is about 225 miles. Waterdeep to
Okay.
Baldur's Gate is about 450 miles. And Baldur's Gate to Thunderfield is about 375 miles. That's just a kind of a
Okay.
base estimation.
I don't see a road to get to Thunderfield, so how are we going to have to travel there?
You're just gonna have to go cross country.
Okay,
See Thunderfield.
to the right, south. It's southeast between Troll Mountains and Snakewood.
Okay, I found it.
And Icy,
Right now-
that's where Icy's from, by the way, so she's familiar.
Okay. Oh well, let me ask Icy this then: is there any? All right, how is that wheeled vehicle? How do you think they're going to get there? It looks to me like the.
So you the one you traveled in, it didn't touch the ground.
Right.
So it wasn't a wheeled vehicle.
It was
was
levitating. It just, the wheels just came down for landing.
It didn't even do that.
Okay.
The one, I think Harvick's thinking of the flying one. It had some spheres, but those were not wheels.
Okay. Oh, all right, the one that they're taking. How does it go?
You guys aren't sure, but you'd assume that it would be similar to, or Faxina is assuming that it's about the same as the auto carriage that you took a test ride in.
Right. Okay. So then what's the way they would be going then? They'd be. I'm having trouble seeing roads. I'm trying to see the route that they would be taking.
But like I'm telling you, it doesn't need a road because it
Right.
it hovers over the ground, doesn't touch the ground.
Okay, but it's going to take them 4 days, right?
No, they are coming from Waterdeep, and you're gonna come from Cloakwood, so they're much further away. But they can travel, like basically day and night.
Right. Okay. Okay. Are they going to be coming? What direction are they going to be coming?
From Waterdeep, they're going south.
Yeah.
They're just going south on the coast. There are roads. Now you said
You don't know the details of exactly how they're going, so you just know they're leaving from Waterdeep.
That'd be the most direct route.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the route there. If you look at the map, it's not. There's not too much stuff in the way.
Can you say that we'd be starting from Cloakwood?
Yeah.
Just
Want to
like
leave?
in
When
the
do we
forest?
head out?
Yeah, in the forest.
Yeah.
Basically in
Okay.
the center of the forest there.
Okay.
And they're coming from the south.
No, they're coming from
Up north from you.
Okay.
You're ahead of them once you teleport.
Okay. All right, now it's going to take them 4 days, right?
No. It's going to take them about more than 8 days, and it's going to take you 7 days. I think
Okay.
I typed it out on the thing, didn't I?
Probably. I'm looking at the map. It's hard to do 3 things at once.
Okay, well, just remember, you're not actually going to navigate the map in that great detail, so you don't need to worry about it too much.
Okay, what I'm worrying about is if we can. What I was thinking is if we can figure out how they're going to be coming, we could actually ambush the vehicle before it gets there.
Okay.
Because we're gonna be ahead of them as we start out in Cloakwood. We'll be ahead of them.
Yeah.
So if they have, I'm assuming it's going to take them a few days. They're going to stop at Baldur's Gate. Probably going to have to stop at Baldur's Gate they're gonna have to stop somewhere. I doubt if they're gonna be camping.
You don't want to just get to Thunderfield before them, and that's what the
Yeah,
we were.
so you mentioned that to Faxina, and she says, that's an interesting idea. Um, Maybe it would be worthwhile for us to send a separate group to intercept them to slow them down.
Yeah.
But I want the main thing I want is that you guys um investigate the zombies.
Yeah, she
Okay.
wants to set Thundergate before they get there to
I'm not.
screw things up.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not
if we
too.
intercept them, they're not gonna get there. We can take our time.
That's true,
Okay.
but I'm concerned that um then you guys might be slowed down. Uh,
Okay.
and also
If they
we
got
don't know what
biased,
kind of force they're sending down there.
yeah, and if they do get biased, then we couldn't keep up to them.
Yeah, we can. No
No, we
faster
can't.
we are.
They
They're
can
just
go
as fast.
fast. They can go
Well, they can,
twice as fast as we can.
no, they
No,
can go
they go
twice.
about as fast
Go
as
the
you,
same speed.
but they don't need to rest. So
So they would get ahead of us.
yeah, that it would be easy
Yeah.
for them to get
We're
ahead.
gonna
But
we're gonna teleport to Cloakwood. That puts us a couple days ahead of them because it's good. They're still
if you-
behind us. That's the whole idea. We get to Cloakwood by teleport,
Right.
so therefore we'll be ahead of them when we get to Cloakwood. That's why I was thinking about trying to ambush them. Apparently we can't. Now what's the green fields?
just the grasslands there.
Okay, so the way we're going to want to travel then is down the road until we get close to the cloud peaks and then cut across to the green fields to get to
Yeah.
Thunderfield. Is that the way we're going to have to do it?
Yep.
Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, everyone's
Okay.
agreeing with that.
Yep. Because we'll make the best time on the road with the horse and an axe beak.
Okay.
Do we need to have a long rest somewhere along the way to regain all of our spells and
It's gonna
hit points?
be it's gonna
Gonna
be
take
a
us
week,
several
so
days.
you're gonna take
Yeah.
lots of long rests.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So shall we take off?
Let's talk about this. So Harvick, you were mentioning the ambush idea. I think Faxina would think that sounds like a good way to slow them down. But
Right.
she says I don't really want to make. So far, we've been able to keep the Emerald Enclave kind of anonymous in our dealings with the ATC. I'm not trying to let them know that we're attacking directly. But we might be able to figure out some way to slow them down. Do you have any other ideas other than just straight up attacking them?
Yeah, if you're just slowing them down. Now, we're going to be stopping by for provisions. I mean, if it's going to take them it's going to take them a total of 8 days no, it's going to take them a total of 4 days to get there.
I keep saying 4 days. It's 8 days for them.
Okay, it's 8 days for them. Okay.
Just one day
So
more than
therefore
you.
they're going to be stopping off. I'm assuming they don't have provisions for the whole time. They're just going to be stopping off at different places like Baldur's Gate, probably.
It's hard to say. We don't really know how big the group is being sent down and how well provisioned they are, but they don't need to feed horses and they don't need to exert any energy on marching or
Right.
anything. So they're probably going to be pretty minimal on needs for supplies. They probably just sitting in the auto carriage all day, have a couple snacks on the way. I don't think they're gonna need to stop very much at all.
So, but they're going to have to go through towns, aren't they? You think
I don't know
you
if
think they're going to
they.
go cross
I don't know
country?
if they have to.
Fly over them.
Well, they're going to
They don't
have to.
fly. They don't fly.
Yeah, it doesn't fly. It hovers, but
Can it go over water, or would it? They have to cross
we're not sure
on
a
how that
bridge.
works. They might have to go over bridges still.
Okay.
Well, there's probably a bridge at Baldur's
Make
Gate.
it.
Yeah.
Be a
Make
good.
a suggestion.
Sure.
Can I make a suggestion? I can talk to plants. Maybe along the way, I could talk to some plants and have them, like the trees, sort of put their arms out and raise them and sort of block their path.
Talking to
That
plants doesn't mean plants can move.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a spell that can let you like bring plants to life, but that's
But I don't.
yeah. I don't think you have
Just-
access to that.
Yeah, well, if we could, just anytime there's a town like Baldur's Gate, they're going to have to go across water. They're probably going to take the gate, so they can, stop them and say there's been an accident or something like that to just slow them down. Make them wait a few hours each time they have to cross one of those rivers. Can come up with something. Maybe they'd want a toll at one and there's been an accident on another. I can come up with an excuse each time to slow them down that way.
All right. Let's see. Let me roll a die for this. All right. Okay. So she says, I think we have gotten a hold of some ATC uniforms. We might be able to dress up someone to give them incorrect orders or something like that.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
But yeah,
Got
if
the
we
uniforms.
intercepted them at one of the cities, I think you're
Okay.
right that they'd have to probably go through Baldur's Gate.
How many
Yeah.
bridges? Do you know how many bridges there are that cross there?
For Baldur's Gate?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
one or two.
Yeah, probably.
Oh. How many of those uniforms you got? You got 3 extra?
She's not sure how many they have, and she's not sure which outpost has them either.
Is it something that could be fabricated?
What do you mean?
Yeah, we know some really good tailors.
Yeah.
We also
we
have
don't
the
really have
sending
time for
stones.
making clothes though.
Okay.
We have.
That's
we
why I
have the
asked.
sending- We have sending stones. We can send out and ask for the information to be delivered to where we're going to be at.
Yeah, Aaron can relay some information to you guys, and you can send stuff to Aaron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, just so you know, don't keep your sending stone in your magic bag because it won't be able to send. So basically, the way the sending stone works is if it's on your person, basically, you get a mental message from the stone.
Okay.
So if it's in your bag, it's like in another dimension, basically.
Right. So you can't communicate with.
Yeah. So you gotta have it in your pocket, basically. Then
Okay.
it will send a message into your mind, so you don't have to worry about it buzzing or shouting out when you're like trying to sneak or something.
Do you keep it on vibrate?
Yeah.
So only one. So the sending stone,
Mm.
the message will only go to the whatever person has the sending stone. Then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's talking with Aaron, and they say, you know what? I think that the best place we can do it is actually at Daggerford. That's the first place
Okay.
they're gonna come across. And Aaron thinks that's where they might have some uniforms there, because that's near to Waterdeep.
Okay.
And
We send the.
so they're gonna try to come up with a plan to slow them down, to help you guys out.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
if that's the case, then since that's one of the first places the machine is going to get through, what they can do is they have sending stone. They can give information to the Cloakwood area.
We can
They'd be able to do
relay.
that.
Yeah, we can relay information back and over to them.
Okay, so when we get there, then we'll be able to know if they were successful.
I think you guys should be getting out of there before they get
Okay.
to Daggerford. So I don't think we
Okay.
would know it at that point, but we can have Aaron. Aaron can relay to you guys when you
Okay.
while you're on the road,
Okay.
if it was successful or not.
Okay.
And hopefully you guys won't get slowed down by something either, because as you know, the roads are dangerous. There could come across some
Well, we know all about
owlbears or monsters of some kind.
We know
Yeah.
all about that.
Yep.
Okay, so I would suggest you guys make sure you have a week or two. You should be able to get more rations in Thunderfield, but at least have a week or so of rations to get down to
Okay.
Thunderfield.
Can
Do
we
we
get?
do we have any of the fruit?
But they don't last
No,
that
that
long.
was a long time ago that you
Oh.
that you guys.
Okay, there's no more.
Yeah, you don't have any right now.
And they haven't
Okay.
brought any in. Okay.
I'm assuming we don't have to pay for our rations, though, correct?
So normally, if you just go buy them at the store, yeah, you would have to pay. Let's see. I mean, so the thing is, the headquarters has some meals and stuff that they can provide for you, but they don't have like a lot of rations stored up. I don't think. Let me see. I'll do a random roll for this. Okay, they have 4 rations in the house that you guys can have for free.
Each one of us gets that works out fine for me because I've got 6 already, so I'll just add 1, and I've got a week's worth.
Okay. Let me see what I've got.
3 mess kits.
But yeah, you guys know that on the way over to the Cloaktower, you can pass by Trader George's to get some more rations if you need.
Okay.
How many
And
you got?
pick up your you gotta pick up your axe beak too.
Yep.
Get rations for your axe beak too.
Yeah.
And Rokus can forage also, so you can supplement your meals.
It'll take time though, won't it?
No, but we have to
it's sort of part of your rest. You have to take a certain amount of rest to not get fatigued.
Okay.
I have 8 rations anyway. I haven't used much because I had been foraging along.
Yeah.
How many do you have, Icy?
3.
Okay.
Have
So
8? Okay.
You said we had
So
five.
I
So
had
maybe
6. I had 6, so I took 1. He said they have 4 there.
okay.
That's 3 more. Why don't you take those, and that should get the axe beak. If you take the extra, the 3 that they have, that should be enough for the axe beak. You
Okay.
can forge as well as you're forging.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So any other stuff you want to ask Vaccina
So
or
I have 10 rations now.
okay?
What was the question?
I was saying, you guys pretty much got all the information she was gonna give you. Any other questions or things you want to talk about with Vaccina before we conclude the meeting?
We could let Vaccina know about the details of what went on in Toralay.
Okay,
And
I think
one,
she knows most of it from Aaron,
okay,
but yeah.
okay. Um, I have a question is, um, does she have any information on Zarafan?
Um, hmm. She tells you some things about him, but it's pretty much all the stuff that you've already figured out.
Okay. She doesn't have any idea what his real alliance is with the ATC. Does he do, what I'm trying to figure out is does he know they're evil or are they using him or is he like in on it?
Okay. She says she doesn't know about him in particular, but the like contacts that she's made within the ATC, a lot of the people are not really aware of what's going on exactly with them. Some of them are aware but don't really see the consequences. A lot of them are just trying to get paid, just doing their job. Um,
Right.
a lot of them are kind of like conflicted because the ATC's like uh, provides so much for them, um, technology and luxuries, stuff that was never
And
over in the West.
like Chicago during Prohibition.
I'm not familiar enough to say how similar it is to that, but I'd say it's like how people depend on Amazon.com, but even though it's an evil corporation.
It's a godsend during this pandemic, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like a lot of the things the other thing that gets in the way of a lot of that is that one of the things that ATC is most famous for is getting rid of the evil necromancers. So
Okay.
anytime anybody brings up anything negative about them, people are just like, well, but they stop the necromancers
Yeah.
and they bring
Here
us all
too.
this good stuff. What else do you want?
Right.
So yeah, she doesn't have much useful stuff about Seraphim. She doesn't
Okay.
really know him personally or much about him. But
Could could
she says
could
it's
is there
like equally likely that he might know and not care, or he might not know the full extent of what they're doing.
yeah, if you
Who
could keep an eye on him, see if you can have somebody we would like to know about his connection if possible. If you happen to find out, just know that we're real interested in that.
Okay, as you say that, she kind of recalls one thing that might be useful about Seraphim. She says, "I have actually had people trying to watch him, but Yeah, it might be useful for you to know that he seems to have some level of autonomy. Like he takes orders from the head of the security force, but he kind of does what he wants a lot of the time.
Okay.
He seems to take whatever missions he feels like.
Okay, so Rokas has to go get the axe beak now. And I would like to go to the Alchemist Cauldron while he does that. And I'm going to ask Icy. She goes to the Arcane Alley. They had a number of things like a cloak of protection and these boots of Elvenkind and things like that for sale. Why don't you go there and see if there's anything that looks like it would help us on our move and jaunt? Unless you had something else you were planning on doing.
Sounds good. And we'll meet back up here at the Blizzard headquarters before we head out? When do you want to meet back?
Yes.
Should we
That's a good place to meet.
Where did we get teleported from?
The Cloaktower. You guys could meet there.
Okay.
That's
You
in
want
the
me to meet there?
Okay, we'll meet at the Cloaktower then.
We'll meet at the Cloaktower in an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, we should be able to. Seems to me we should be able to do all that in an hour.
And on the way to pick up the axe beak,
Yeah.
I'm going to want to stop by the butcher shop and get some meat to feed him up, so he leaves all fed.
Okay. We don't need to role play out the store, visiting the general store or feeding
Okay.
your XP. Just tell you rations are a silver a day. Sorry, 5 silver pieces a day. Let me put it in Discord.
Okay, so how many?
You guys,
You taking?
You don't need to really discuss it. Just buy how many you want, and then
Okay.
feed per day for animals is 5 copper. All right. So
Unless they've got something. If they have something they want to.
They don't have any zombie repellent.
Okay.
Huh. I just look in there. I have one unidentified object.
Unidentified object?
Yeah.
Where's that?
At the bottom of my list of stuff.
It just says unidentified object?
It says unidentified item 1.
Oh, well, I have no idea what that is. So, I guess it's probably going to stay unidentified forever.
Go on, Rokas.
I think I should get to try it, get a roll to see what it might be.
It's interesting that you think that.
If God doesn't know what it is, you're gonna have to roll a really high number.
He can roll to see what it might be.
It's a piece of radioactive shrapnel that gives you cancer.
I'm gonna drop it in Harbeck's drawers when he's not looking.
Really, I don't know what
ATCs.
that is, so you can get rid of that. I don't think that we're gonna figure that out.
Oh man!
If you just
Yeah,
wrote it
Rokas.
down as unidentified item, that's a pretty bad description.
You can at least put it down where you got it from.
It was something that we picked up in our adventures.
Well, that's a big help.
What's
it's
this
basically a thing. I have an
It's a
object.
thing.
Bad. It went bad. It smells really bad. I'd get rid of it.
I think that you've got a thing where you can randomly generate to figure out what it is.
Well, sure, I could randomly give you something, but
Why did you do this?
we don't know what it is. That's the point.
Go through. Ian publishes he's got each one of the adventures. So why don't you go through each adventure until you find out that Rokus picked up an unidentified object.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
So-
he will know what room or what path or wherever it came from, and he might be able to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it.
Okay. So you only have, let's see, 21 episodes of this one and 29 episodes of the previous adventure to look through.
Yeah. So
it's
That's
only
okay.
it's only 53-hour videos or whatever.
right. And
Well, I
Rokus,
know-
Rokus is in a shutdown anyway. He's bored. He can do it.
Well, the thing is that there's only a certain episodes where I could have found anything.
Well, if you can go look,
Yeah.
see what happens. So
Anyway, if you
let's-
find something that's unidentified, you gotta describe it better than object.
It says item. Item.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a big help. Yeah.
Big difference.
Yes.
And
You got.
Yeah.
You
Item in a
got.
particular room in the cave or something like that might work, but
Well, I will go back to the mine. That's the most likely place.
I'll see if you can find it. Okay,
Yeah.
so now
Oh, it's magical armor. I'm invincible.
I don't think that's gonna.
see what God thinks about that.
I'm not feeling it.
It's a plus one charm.
All right, let's stop talking about your unidentified
Right.
item. So, how about what store did you want to look at next?
We sent Icy up to the Arcane Alley, whatever it is.
Okay.
There's something called a disguise kit. This pouch of cosmetic hair dye and small props lets you create a disguise that changes your physical appearance.
I think you have to
Proficiency with
be
this
like trained with using that, as far as I know.
Okay, yeah, it says something about proficiency.
Yeah. You need to
Okay.
You need to know how to apply it.
Huh. Can you apply it to someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's something that you're supposed to have proficiency in, just like with
I'm just saying if I had done downtime and
Oh yeah, you could do it on someone else, sure.
yeah, or myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think it. I guess out of all of you, it would match Rokus's character the most, as he's the ranger rogue.
Yeah. Yeah. Rogue.
Okay.
We could dye his hair black and put a mustache and a beard on him, and that would change him from
Yeah.
the
I
white
think
guy.
those and a pair of glasses.
I could do Cloaktower marks.
An elf with a mustache would be very funny, since elves cannot grow facial hair.
I could do I'll get one of those glasses with the mustache for Cloaktower marks. And the big nose.
We can give him an Elvis hairstyle.
The mustache, you'd probably have better chances of passing Icy off as a man with a mustache than Rokus with one.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Anyway,
right. I think we've done enough bargaining or buying or whatever.
all right.
Yeah.
So the party travels around town. I think I'll probably just cut out most of all that buying stuff. That's went super slow. So let's just go over what you guys bought there. So
Okay.
the party went around town and bought rations, feed for the animal, a cloak of protection,
Icy.
2 potions of healing, greater potions of healing,
Let's
Yep.
go to Rokus.
some blade oil of radiance.
It also
Like
goes to Rokus.
holy oil, basically. An alchemy jug, you bought that? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
yeah.
alchemy.
And then you all
Wow.
got some alchemist's fire,
Yeah. Everybody's
Yeah.
got one of those.
and Harvick got 4 4 vials or flasks of holy water. And
Right.
then Harvick also went around to the different groups to ask for them to help fund it, since they're not getting a reward for this mission, and was able to get a cheaper price on a couple things.
Now, how much was the alchemy jug?
50.
No,
50,
it's
okay.
Oh, the flask, the fire flask was 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The alchemy jug is 400 gold.
Okay. And who's got the haversack thing?
I think Icy
Icy
does.
has the magic
Okay,
haversack.
then she can put it in that.
Alright. I'll add it for you, Icy.
Thank you.
The alchemy jug. Alright, and just to confirm, Harvey, you took all those out of your bank account?
I'm taking all of the bank account, and I also 1 holy water to Icy and 1 holy water to Rokus.
Okay.
Then I'll keep 2.
I'll add that for you, Icy.
And each one of us has 1 Greek fire.
An alchemist fire flask.
Alchemist fire, yeah. Change that to alchemist fire.
That's an item, so you can actually have it. You don't have to type it in. As the other positions. I don't know if that's what you're doing or not.
I meant on my notes.
Oh, okay. Alright, I see. If you refresh, you'll have those.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 2 holy waters, I think, because I had one already.
Okay, I've got 1. I put it in.
Alright, cool. So, you guys make your way over to the Cloaktower, which you haven't visited before. And it's a pretty grand structure. Over on the east side of town. And when you get there, you find Magnus. Illustro Magnus. The wizard with the snake. And he's ready to teleport you guys. He's has his wide-eyed look as usual. Says, I hear
With his snake?
What's that?
With his snake?
Yeah, he's got his snake wrapped around his neck on his shoulder.
Okay.
And he says, I hear you're working for Neverwinter.
Sir, we are.
Well, good luck on whatever you happen to be doing. And he says, are you ready to be teleported?
I think we are. Unless I see Rokus knows something I don't.
Alright, so all of you should get into the circle here. So you see in the middle of this grand hall, there's a circle with all kinds of magical runes carved into it, into the stone. And it's quite large. It's big enough for you, all of you and Rokus to lead his axe beak there. You all can stand within the circle.
Okay.
And he does a magic spell and pop, you're all the way down, like hundreds and hundreds of miles away in an unfamiliar room. There's a much smaller room with a circle about the same size that you guys pop into, and you're inside of a kind of a wooden cabin type structure, and you see some guys wearing Emerald Enclave cloaks are there. So it's we were expecting you.
Hello.
Hi, here's a map of the area.
Thank you.
So he gives you a map that's basically like the smaller map that I posted in Discord that shows Baldur's Gate to Thunderfield. So this should help you on your way. um, Faxina has told us that she's gonna have a few groups up and down the coast trying to slow down the pursuers. And yeah, you guys can head out this direction. He like leads you outside. He says, anything else you need before you go?
You have a now our sending stone can be attuned to you, so we'd be able to communicate with you.
No, just back to
No,
Aaron.
it goes back to Aaron, but he can talk to other groups. So he's gonna be your contact.
So
He can relay a message.
okay, so we would be able to contact Aaron, who could contact you, who would contact back to Aaron and back to us.
Yes, but it's the stones only work once a day, so
It'll take 3 days to get a message back and forth.
no, it wouldn't take 3 days, but if there some, it depends on priority of what kind of information is being passed around.
You send more. All right, when you do it, can you send multiple messages at one time?
No, it's limited. It's like you can only have a 25 words basically.
Okay.
It's like a tweet.
Yeah, basically, it's like a tweet on Twitter. So you
Okay.
can send a message to Aaron, then Aaron would have that information. If he got something from someone else that he thought was important enough that he's gonna use his one message for that day, then he can send you stuff back. So he might sometimes wait until he's got enough information, or if one of the people in the chain, they might extend their message for the day and not be able to do it right away. There are wizards. They also have wizards who can just do the spell sending. So, without a stone.
Well,
so they do have methods of getting messages around, but you're gonna have to go through Aaron basically.
Okay. Well, so once a day,
everybody's on the same page though, so they know that.
Yeah.
You guys need information on what's going on, so you don't need to worry about that. Aaron's gonna send you whatever messages he can.
Okay. So Aaron will let us know how successful they're trying to slow down the car is.
Right.
Let's see if we can get to Thunderfield.
So this guy leads you. He says, "All right. So I see you have an axe beak. Do you have another mount? Do you need another mount? I guess he would ask."
We don't really need it.
We don't need it. It would be nice, because if we got into trouble, it'd be nice if Icewe was herself instead of a horse.
That's
so the answer. If you got 2 horses, we could have that. That would be nice, but not necessary.
Okay. Let me do a roll. See what they got, because I'm not sure. Okay, they just have a horse they can spare.
Well, you guys are little.
Someone else's horse, so
they're
giving it up for you.
He's a dwarf. He's just a little fart. They could ride double.
Yeah, that would be fine. You could have.
Okay, let's do that then, because that way, if we getting into trouble, Icewe can do something besides eat grass while we're.
All right, cool. All right, so he says, "All right, I'll lead you guys out of the forest here, and then once you're on the road, you should be able to find your way easy enough."
Yep.
Right.
When we see the mountains, we'll know to head east.
Yep.
So it takes you guys about, let's see, probably half a day to get to the road.
That's pretty much the day done then, because if we started late morning and it took us a while to do that,
yeah.
so that
it's getting towards evening when you get to the road. Okay, now I want to expedite this travel, but I do want there to be some stakes and chances for things to go wrong or go right. So we're gonna do some rolls, but it's gonna be, a little bit simplified. I'm not gonna have everybody do everything every day. So
Okay.
let's see. All right. So first, let's everybody do a perception check.
I got 10.
Total?
18. Oh, okay. Is this still our first night?
Of 11.
Yeah, it's nighttime. I'm just writing down some rolls first, so hold on. Rokus, what was your perception total? It was 10?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad for you, isn't it?
Yes, that's very bad
Okay.
for me.
Harvick got 18.
Yeah, 19
Yeah.
minus 1.
That's pretty high for you.
Yeah.
And Icewe, was yours?
11.
My total was 11.
Okay. Cool. So that accounts for this evening. Let me see if anything actually happens. Okay. Nothing happened through the evening. You're able to rest and
Okay.
who
All right.
who has the cloak?
Icy has the cloak, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
I have to change my spells so I can go look for Pookie.
Okay, we're getting near the end of the session, so you don't need to actually do it on your sheet, but we'll say you've swapped into that spell. So you want to call Pookie in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And if you want to just swap that spell back out again the next day, you don't even need to bother changing it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, cool. So now I could would you guys like it to do rolls for every single day of the 7 days, or do you want to just do a roll to hold it for the week of travel? What do you guys want to do? Give you a choice.
Okay, I'd say hold it for the week of travel, but don't forget Pookie's back, so he'll be able to do a perception too.
Okay, I'll let you do a second roll here, and that'll be for the whole week.
Okay.
So those rolls you just did, that was for the night. So we'll do a new one,
now.
and this will go for until you get to Thunderfield.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So roll your perception again.
Okay, now, because he's got hearing and smell, Pookie will be able to do an advantage, correct?
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Okay. So that's a +1. 7. Next one.
7 for Pookie?
Pookie's 15.
Okay.
And Harbeck.
To 16, Harbeck, for Pookie.
No, he gets a -1.
Oh, okay.
I'm an 8. I'm an 8. Pookie's a 16.
Actually, you don't take one away for Pookie. That's
Pookie's
you.
got
I add for Pookie.
Yeah.
I add 1 for Pookie. Pookie's an add 1.
Okay.
I'm a -1.
Okay,
Pookie's 9 plus. Yeah, Pookie is.
I think Pookie's +3.
Yeah.
So it's even higher.
18. I think Pookie's
It's
at
18.
19.
Okay, Pookie is 18 and I'm 8.
All right.
I'm 11 total.
That's not that great either.
Nope. I had 2 shit rolls in a row.
All this soft living at Neverwinter's. He's gotten fat and sloppy.
From hanging around the smelly dwarf.
I see. How's your perception?
Oh, my total was 14.
Okay. So next will be survival check for Rokus guiding you guys. If he does really well, I'll say, let's see. Did you roll yet already?
Yes. Oh, but
Alright.
oh,
Well,
I
don't
don't
tell
get
me
an
to answer
advantage
it,
or
but it
anything.
sounded bad. If you roll a 1 or a 2, then you get a day behind. If it's a 19 or 20, you get a extra day you get there a day early.
Oh, I nat one.
Okay, then you screwed up. You're like a day.
God
You don't-
damn.
You don't want to use. You don't want to use your inspiration.
What were you doing in town? Jeez.
He
Really?
was drinking and carousing and carrying on.
This game's too realistic. I got lost.
I see. Patricia gave a good suggestion there. Did you hear that?
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to use it for that.
Okay.
Do you guys think should I use it inspiration, guys?
Well, what do you think the chances of them
You do have
screwing up?
You have a chance of them slowing them down. So
Yeah. What do you think the chances are?
I don't know. I mean, the chances of hitting another nat 1 or 2 is pretty low. Should I
Well,
do it?
well, actually, it takes a while. How about we'll wait until Aaron says, whether or not they were able to slow him down, and if he does, then you can use your inspiration. Get us
No,
back on.
I'd
it
have to
doesn't
do
really
it now.
work like that.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
have to do it now. You want to play it safe and I'll just roll again?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah.
You think so, Icy?
It's up to you, Rokus.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Okay, I'll let you re-roll.
Better
Okay.
not be a 1.
No, I got a 9 plus 6. So that's 15.
Okay. 15.
Oh, wait, if you had a +6, oh, it's a nat 1, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what though? Actually, the nat 1 only matters in combat.
So then
Okay.
he got a 7 then.
Yeah, it'd be 7.
Yeah, so you kind of misunderstood that. So it's okay. You don't need to use your inspiration. But
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have you use that 7, not the 15.
Okay.
All right. So you didn't do very well. 7. But it's not enough to get you a full day behind. But you are going slow.
Yeah, he just made us go through the swamp when we didn't have to.
Right.
Right. Sorry, guys.
It's a roll of the dice.
So you guys now
Alright.
another thing, if you want to go at a fast pace, you will take a point of exhaustion. But you can go slightly faster if you want. A point of exhaustion gives you disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws and such things.
I
I think
Oh,
we're
yes.
okay.
don't think we
Can I
should be
s-
exhausted.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
I have a spell called haste. You choosing a willing creature that you can see within range. Until the spell ends, the target speed is doubled, and it gains a +2 bonus to AC.
That would be fine for one of us, but the other one couldn't keep up.
No, but if me and Harvick are on the horse, I could put it on the horse, so it could take me and Harvick further ahead. But you're in the lead, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
You could use 2. Can you? What kind of spell is that? You could use 2 spell slots to do it twice.
Do you want me to do? Yeah. Do you want me to do that, fellas?
Yeah, because we'll have a rest the next time around.
Sure.
Okay.
If anything jumps us, it's not going to affect you that much in terms of your fighting ability.
Okay, so I'll do that twice.
Okay, let me.
Back speak from the horse.
Where the hell is it?
So that sped us up by twice.
Yeah, let me check on
And-
the
Haste.
for some reason I closed something. I didn't want to close.
It said something about a wave of lethargy sweeps over it.
Yeah, let me check. Lethargy.
On dexterity saving throws, and it gains an additional action on each of its turns. The action can be used only to take the attack. One weapon attack only. So do you...
Let me read through it. Hold on.
Okay.
Well, it's pretty good. This is a pretty good spell. Okay, I'm gonna just read through it so everybody knows. Choose a willing creature that you see within range. Until the spell ends, the target's speed is doubled. Let's see. Concentrate. Okay, here. This is the problem with this spell, that you can't really use it for what you're trying to do. The duration is up to 1 minute, so that will not help you with your travel time.
Okay.
But in combat, this is a good spell. It gives you +2 bonus to AC. So you can move a lot faster. You can dodge a lot faster. And it has advantage on dex saving throws while it's on. It also gains an additional action on each of its turns. 2 actions.
Damn.
The action can be used only to take... Oh, it says that action can only be used to take the attack. 1 weapon attack only. Dash, disengage, hide, or use object action. But yeah, it sounds like it's saying... Oh, use the attack 1 weapon attack only.
So she'd be able to whack something and then throw the Greek fire on her? It says you can use an item?
It says use an object. That's different. That's an attack. Throwing a thing is still a weapon attack, but it would let you disengage.
Or give somebody a
dash towards someone and attack on the same turn. So it has some pretty good usefulness.
Yeah. Would you be able to hit somebody and then also give them a flask?
You could give someone something, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's...
Up to a minute. A minute is 10 turns in combat.
Right.
So
it's
a pretty good spell.
Yeah, it is.
Very good spell.
Keep that spell in mind. But for traveling, it's only lasts for a minute. It's not going to affect anything.
You cast that on Harbeck in a battle, then he would get to be able to touch people, to heal them, and whacking and carrying on. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, we discovered Icewe has a cool ability that we shouldn't forget. All right, so I've written down your perception check. We got Rokus's survival check, which was fine, not very good. All right.
For all his bragging.
Anything else you want to be doing in general that you think we should do a roll for before we start just going through the days?
Yeah, I'm gonna be working with Axbeak, trying to teach him like to stay and come.
You've done that already.
Okay, I want to teach him to roll over.
All right, you can.
You want to teach him to attack on command.
Yeah.
He can do that. Yeah. He can
and he's good. We're ready to go.
Yeah, Rokus, during your downtime, you pretty much got him doing everything he can do.
Okay.
He's a fully equipped Axbeak.
Okay.
But just for role playing, yeah, you can interact with your Axbeak more. But I'm thinking about you're not gonna really be doing stealth. anything you guys can think of that you wanna do
I
as
could
you're
could
traveling.
I could work on my lock picking.
You're
You
pretty
can't
proficient
really.
at
You
that.
can't. Yeah, you're proficient. You can't
I
expend it
can't
on
get
that.
better. Okay.
There is a way to get expertise in something, but that's another big downtime thing.
Okay.
Okay, sounds like nobody has any ideas. So, during the first day, let's see if you encounter anything. All right, no, it's clear. Nothing interesting happens on the first day for you guys. Let's see
Okay,
how
now
the yeah
when we're traveling,
yeah
if you're talking about during the day and we're traveling,
yeah.
Pookie's going ahead of us. He's got really good hearing and smelling for perception.
I don't think he can really keep up with your horses. What's his run speed?
Uh,
If it's 60, I think that'd be
40
enough.
feet.
Yeah, he can.
40
He
feet.
can't. You'd have to slow down if you wanted to do that.
Can we go? Can he sit on the axe beak behind Richie? Behind
Yeah.
Rokas?
I put him in front.
Sure. I'll say you find a way to tie his harness onto the saddle.
He'd be in
Okay.
front of me.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
is
Okay. But he can't go ahead of you. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now I'm gonna roll to see the enemies if they're able to be distracted. All right. So the people at Daggerford are trying to slow them down. So I just want to say, I did kind of divert your ideas of ambushing them, but it was not something I had thought of. But I think Harvick had a cool idea, so I wanted to make sure you got rewarded for thinking of something creative at least. So
Get an
Yes.
inspiration? Do I get an inspiration?
no, because inspiration usually is something that's like you're playing your character to your own detriment. Like if Harvick was like, because I am such a holy and just paladin who wants to fight for right, I will not worry about the money that all this thing costs because I am super rich and 50 gold is nothing to me. So
What
I'm
about
not
I'm
gonna
putting up
cry
with
about
help?
paying for holy water.
What
Then I
about
would say, "Oh, you did a good job. I'm gonna give you a point of inspiration."
That wouldn't be Harvick.
Just giving you a random example, not
Yeah.
based on anything. I'm trying to find my little map here so I can narrate this well. Alright, so the enemies, they're headed from Waterdeep to... And they're arriving around at Daggerford in the evening to cross the river there. And some of the Emerald Enclave have made their way over from their outpost near the Misty Forest. And they're trying to... they're using ATC uniforms that they had acquired before to try to add some incorrect orders to slow them down. Okay, they rolled a 13. Let's see how the soldiers receive it. A 5. So they are distracted and slowed down. Let's see. I'll roll a d12 to see how many hours. Each number on the d12 will be times 2. Okay, 10 hours.
That confused them.
Yep. They told them that they were supposed to wait for some other reinforcements to join the group, which never showed up.
After 10 hours, they got tired of waiting and left.
Yeah.
Good work.
Okay, so that evening, you guys get a message from Aaron telling you guys that they have good news and bad news.
Uh-oh.
It says we've slowed them down by 10 hours, but they've reported that Zeraphim is in this group.
Great.
That's not good.
Okay, cool. So the next day,
Is the haste spell a concentration spell?
yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, next day, let's see if you guys run into anything. No, you don't. And the enemies, there's nothing really in the way there, so they progressed normally. So day 3 now. You do not encounter anything. And yeah, they're still okay. They got down to, I think, around the Dragon Spear Castle area. And they're not really passing through the town. They're just going into the open fields. Okay, that was day 3. Day 4, you guys don't encounter anything. Okay, so the Emerald Enclave are able to set up another distraction at the Troll Claw Ford. They're gonna try to see if they can do some kind of sabotage on the actual bridge itself to slow them down. Okay, I rolled a 6 for the Emerald Enclave, but a 5 for the ATC. So they had a minor inconvenience. I'll roll a d12 again. It'll just be 1 hour each for the d12 this time. Whoa, lucky roll. 7.
Another half day. Cool.
17
Half
hours.
travel day.
Yeah.
So together that would be like a whole day travel.
Just about 17 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes at the end. I'll figure out. Okay, still nothing for you guys on day 5. Yeah, they don't encounter anything that day. Day 6. Okay, I think at the end of day 6 they'd be passing through Baldur's Gate. So let's see if they're able to distract them there. Oh, they rolled a 1. So
Ooh.
yeah, the ATC they expose themselves. I mean, sorry, the Emerald Enclave. One of the members does a pretty bad job and ends up exposing himself as an Emerald Enclave member while trying to slow them down. So now they're a bit suspicious of Emerald Enclave. And we're not slowed down. Yeah, with the nat 1, I think you guys get a report from Aaron that this guy was killed by Zeraphim.
Rats.
Okay, last day for your traveling. Oh, something happened finally. I was thinking you guys were
Day
gonna
7?
get by. So I'll just, since we're about to stop, I'll give you a little cliffhanger.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're almost to Thunderfield. You've traveled a long way. You're probably have to camp out right. You'll be like a few hours away still from Thunderfield when you have to camp out. You're thinking you're amidst the lush grasslands of the green fields, and Rokus and Harbeck and Icy have their perception checks here. Let me check if they see anything. Icy is alert, so she cannot be surprised. But she might not be able to warn others.
Well, now the way we usually do it is Pookie and Rokus don't have to sleep, so we usually just have them as
This is
usually.
actually this is happening in the afternoon while you're traveling.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was at night.
Nope. Hold on. Okay. So Icy, you're the only one who's aware of this. So Rokus and Harbeck, you will. Oh, PJ noticed too. But he doesn't. We'll see how it comes out on the turn order. He might be able to warn Harbeck, depending on his initiative. Okay. But Rokus and Harbeck, you guys are gonna be surprised. But dropping out of the sky is a griffin.
Griffin.
Yes. Icy is alert and she's able to notice there's a griffin plummeting out of the sky in an attack pose with its claws, its talons bared. And she recalls growing up here in the Greenfields that griffins often attack horses in this area. This is something she's familiar with.
I think you're not a horse, I see.
True.
Yep. But yeah, there may be more than one griffin also. So we will have to do that combat next time.
Okay.
But you guys are riding along in the grasslands when suddenly griffins attack.
Okay.
See you on the next session, everybody.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.